Hello, my name is Dana Gregory. I am a collector of vintage old Zildjian Istanbul cymbals, and I wanted to throw a video together showing the different cymbals from different eras. If you notice, I have three rows. The top row are my 18s. Almost every one of them is a little under 18 inches. The second row I have a 19 inch, and the rest are 20-inch cymbals that are all a little bit undersized from the 20. And then I have 13-inch hats, a couple of sets of 14-inch hats, and a set of 15-inch hats with one extra hi-hat cymbal that I've had also that I use with one of these other sets of 14s. So I also went from the oldest cymbals on the left around to the intermediate cymbals and then over to the new stamp cymbals on the far right. So I thought I could show you the different cymbals and the different eras. This is an 18. This is an old stamp 2B, 1480 grams, drilled for rivets. Has kind of a flat bell. There's a stamp on that one. The second one here, that's 17 5/8. Old stamp 2B, it's 1190 grams, also drilled for rivets. Has kind of a flat bell. There's the stamp on that one. This is an old stamp 3B, 1190 grams, not drilled for rivets. This bell is a little smaller and a little higher than the previous two, as well as this one, which is an old stamp 3A. That's 1180 grams. That's not drilled for rivets. I don't know if you can see the stamps on these guys. There's the stamp up there. This is an old stamp 3A, 1350 grams. Pretty flat bell on this one. Also, the lathing is done with what I think is a little bit of a dull tool bit and gives you a shinier finish. There's a stamp on that guy. Now this was moving into the intermediate stamp cymbals here. This, you can tell the intermediates by the deeper lathing and the pronounced hammering on the bells. This one here is 1460 grams. This is an 18-inch new stamp. That's 1400 grams. And the last one is another new stamp. This is drilled for rivets, and that is 1500 grams. Now this was owned by an old drum teacher of mine, Vincent Ruggiero, who was the drummer, the first band that Chuck Mangione and his brother Gap had here in Rochester, New York, was called the Jazz Brothers, and Vinny was their drummer and on the CD. He he's got a couple other CDs out, and he was a great drummer and a great teacher. I believe his son Charles is in New York City. He's also an excellent jazz drummer. Okay, moving into the second row. This is a 19-inch old stamp 2B, 1790 grams, not drilled for rivets, very flat bell. This is a 20-inch old stamp 2B, and that is drilled for rivets, and that is 1940 grams. Very trashy cymbal. It's got kind of a flat bell. You can see the old hammering. I love the hammering on the old stamps. This 20 is 2290 grams. That's an old stamp 3A. A little different lathing than the previous one. You can see the lathing's not quite as deep. This one is unusual in that all of the weight is in the bell and the cymbal real close to the bell, and the outsides of the cymbal are pretty thin, which makes it a little drier and definitely crashable, and it's almost like a thin cymbal, although by weight you would say it was a medium cymbal. This cymbal here is the trashy sound. If you're talking about trashy old case, this guy right here is the one that you think of. Now we're moving into the intermediate cymbals. You can see again the lathing, deeper lathing, the hammering, and the bell. This is a very, very thin cymbal, 1710 grams. This here is another intermediate, 1970 grams, which is also on the thin side. This intermediate is 2295 grams. You can see those lines. You can definitely tell an intermediate cymbal. And now we are moving into the new stamp. This one is also very thin, 1770 grams. This is a new stamp, 1910 grams. It's got 2 rivet holes. And finally, this is drilled for 3 rivets, and it's 1990 grams. Okay, moving to the first row. This is a set of 13-inch old stamp 2Bs, 690 gram on the top, 830 on the bottom, and this is the absolute best example that I have of what these cymbals came like from the factory. You can see the paper label on the inside of the bell, the signature. This one is as clear as could possibly be. And then you have the ink stamps, Zildjian and Company, Istanbul, the original and only authentic Turkish cymbal. 13-inch, 33 centimeters, and they have it stamped medium. For the day, maybe it was medium, but those are very thin cymbals. This is an old stamp 3A pair. Top is 670 grams, the bottom is 962. See the stamp there. See the stamp on this guy. This is a set of intermediate 14s. 880 gram top, 902 on the bottom. This is a perfectly matched set. All these hi-hats are basically undersized, just like all the rest of the cymbals. And this is my set of 15s. The top is an old stamp 1 at 1250 grams, and the bottom is the first cymbal I bought, the old K I ever bought around 1970, and that is a new stamp at 1070 grams. This cymbal here I bought brand new in a box, unopened, and I hardly have used it yet. It was unused when I got it. You can see it's very old. There's the stamp on it. This cymbal is 912 grams. Old stamp 2A, and I use it as a top cymbal with this set of old stamp 14s here. So anyway, this is the collection that I've gotten to after 25 years of collecting, and I thought I would share with you differences in appearance, lathing, and size and weights.